Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Now, on to today's story. Are you sure I'm really the problem? Wow. I must say today has been, at the bare minimum, interesting. I now know that I clearly wasn't the problem. At first, yeah, I thought it was funny. It was very validating to know that I wasn't the problem. I was gaslit for months by my own self, thinking your temper and propensity for utter bullshit was my fault. I was fully convinced that the problems we had were solely my own. I thought for sure I caused and earned your rage and violence. But it's really not funny anymore. I know what you said to her, and it honestly gave me full body chills for the better half of an hour. The similarities in how you treated me and her are shockingly uncanny. It's not funny anymore because even though I'm not on the receiving end anymore, you're still out here treating women like shit and then playing the victim card. It's surreal to me how you haven't even changed at all. Despite being noticeably uncomfortable and nauseated all day, I can't help but feel a wave of relief. It's no longer me the one putting you on blast on Facebook. It's no longer me coming up with ways to explain your twisted narrative to your shitty friends. It's not me crying myself to sleep every night over your hurtful words. I am so beyond ducking thankful. My heart hurts for her, in all honesty. I've forgiven her. She didn't steal my man, she took my place as a punching bag. I am forever indebted to her, if I'm being perfectly honest. My relationship now may be rocky, but I'm thankful it's not full of adulteration and shouting and being degraded into nothingness. I will get my happy little family in the end, and I'm done feeling guilty. I apologized for my small part in things and tried to make things right. Clearly I wasn't even the problem all along. You're repeating history again without even any of my involvement. I'm honestly at a loss for words after having said any of that. I never thought I'd live to see the day karma did a finer job of revenge than I ever could. I genuinely thought everything was my fault. In a way, this is the best form of closure. I feel sorry for the child involved, but I am relieved that it's not me pregnant with your baby. I'm glad that someone else is the father to the one I carry now. I'm so glad I can breathe at night, and I've been smiling and laughing and feeling like my old self again. None of this is funny anymore, in fact rather grim. But in the strangest way it's so cathartic. I feel so peaceful. Update, I suppose? X and AP aren't getting along at all. Update. Well, it's been a wild ride the last few days. I had to delete some of my old posts for personal reasons. Long story short, I had a fiancé of 5 years who cheated on me and got 2 different women pregnant. I was devastated for a short while, but honestly my recovery has come along rather quickly. Well, I thought I'd have to wait a really long time to see the inevitable consequences of my ex's irresponsible actions, or I was beginning to think maybe I was the problem all along. Nope. 2 days ago I woke up to like 12 missed calls from an unknown phone number. My mom also got calls too? Then someone with an area code from his state texted me, threatening me. I handled it pretty well, I feel. I blocked them and just tried to move on with my day. Then, I came into contact with my ex's affair partner. The one he chose to stay with, anyways. I had her blocked, but it looks like she had made a new Facebook a while ago that I didn't know about. We talked for a little, and something I never, in a million years, thought would happen. She apologized. And she said she wished she listened to me when I warned her. I was gobsmacked, honestly, but tried to handle it with grace. I told her it's okay. He's incredibly manipulative and it's easy to believe him. I tried to be kind. I realized I wasn't even mad at her anymore. In all honesty, she didn't steal my man. She took my place as a punching bag. I was just able to escape before we actually had a baby. I ended things with my ex back in the beginning of June. I guess they've been having problems since his birthday, which is in the beginning of July. I guess some really bad issues. Suspicions of cheating, lying, unfaithfulness. She says she didn't cheat and I have no reason not to believe her, I just don't know her that well. She stayed with her ex for a week and lied about it or something. And my ex called CPS on her, told her mom about the pregnancy and got her kicked out of her house. The social media slandering that took place after was really something. I was entertained at first, feeling perfectly vindicated about everything, but that quickly changed. It got scary, fast. He was doing all the same stuff to her that he did to me. Lying to friends, twisting narratives, yelling at her and degrading her. He even called her baby a parasite and said he regretted her. On Facebook. I'll tell you, it's incredibly surreal to watch this from the outside. I do feel bad for her, I honestly do. She's nice enough and perhaps we could even be friends barring the circumstances. I've been vague but encouraging to her so far. I'm sure she will go back eventually and that's fine. But honestly, it's just been ridiculous to see this unfold. Of course he tried to drag me into it and make a point to mention me several times in his unhinged rants. But I've honestly just been over here chillin'. I guess someone called a welfare check on him because of his unstable behavior and threats of suicide. He thinks it was me and I wish so badly to say in order for me to do that, I'd have to actually give two shits about your well-being, but I didn't. I'm honestly not even sure what to say anymore. This was a crazy plot twist I wasn't expecting. And I know if they do end up back together because of that little glimpse that slipped through, it will always and obviously be a terrible thing. He really hasn't changed one bit and I'm beyond thankful that it's not me anymore. It sounds like you dodged a bullet. In all honesty, I would remove both the girl and him from your life. There's no point in being wrapped up in that drama, or knowing anything about them. I'm going to. The only reason I helped in the first place is because I was worried for her. This ex almost killed me several times. Oh okay, that makes sense. Hope you two are both safe then. And I have a restraining order on my ex-top, so no problem there. I just had unfortunately been shown some of his wacky posts. Glad you got a restraining order. As far as the you can only do so much. You've already told her your side, and given her the facts. What she chooses to do with that information is on her. You've done your part. Yep, I know. I think mostly for me it was just incredibly cathartic and healing to know that I wasn't actually the problem. Yeah, I don't plan to stay in contact at all. I know it's not my problem, but I would hate for her to be severely or fatally harmed. This post gets to me in a bizarre way. I also had an abusive ex, narcissistic personality disorder, and he subtly threatened to kill me a couple times by saying no one would question I hurt myself because of my bipolar disorder. He cheated on me and told me he was buying a house with his ex-wife and was dating girls on eHarmony. I messaged his ex and his new date, who he was messaging on my iPad, to tell them he's abusive AF and to be careful. We actually bonded with supportive messages, and both the girls told me they had no interest in even talking to him. His ex-wife told me she had a restraining order against him and wished she had known about me in order to warn and protect me. Sometimes we have to look out for each other, and I'm so glad you were able to save yourself and walk away. I'm also so glad to hear that you were the bigger person and were supportive to your ex's AP. I hope you continue to heal and give of yourself only if it doesn't cause you stress or put you in jeopardy. Please be safe up, and if you start to get entangled in their mess, please don't feel bad setting your boundaries and cutting her off also. I'm so glad you're out of that and all of you were able to come together. It's so beautiful to me when women support women. And thank you, I'm doing my best. We haven't really talked since the other day and things have died down. I'm thinking today I'm going to find a way to let her know I wish her the best, but I'm going to take some space for myself. Several times? Yeah, more than once. I'd say, twice and a half if we are talking specifically. This is crazy, but I'm actually proud of you. Instead of being mad and upset, you actually are happy you aren't with him. I kinda feel bad for her because she is in an abusive relationship. I'm glad you handle this with grace, but also be careful of your ex. He might be send random messages from another number if he finds she was talking to you. It would be safe to keep low contact with her. Give her advice to get out of the relationship and to leave him. You know, like I know and I don't know, the douchebag isn't gonna change for no one. I feel bad that they had child together, so keep distance and be safe. I'm happy you handle this correctly, smiley face. I'd stay out of it. If they get back together, your name will probably be mud. I leave it. If she decides to take him to court, then maybe she can call you as a witness. Until then, go on with your life. 20. Yeah, I know. I had a small personal obligation to at least make sure she's mostly safe. That's just who I am. But since then I've stayed out of it. Looking back at old voicemails. I just recently went back and listened to old voicemails from my abusive ex of 5 years. It was so bone-chilling to hear the way he talked to me. He was so sociopathic sounding. Delivering weird threats, calling me terrible names. Then dropping the act and cheerfully saying I love you at the end of them. It's seriously nightmare fuel. I'm the happiest I've ever been for about 4 months out of almost no contact. We've been broken up for much longer, but I finally cut him out in June. If anything, please take this as your sign to leave. It does get better. I have an amazing teddy bear of a man who loves me and spoils me to death, and will be starting our own little family soon. I have amazing friends, family, and I look forward to waking up every morning. It gets better. Please hang in there. Should I tell my roommate's boyfriend that she is cheating on him? I, 30F, am working a summer contract at a wilderness resort. There are about 30 staff here and we live in cabins that have private bedrooms. 2 of my cabin mates are 21F and 21 meters. No one knew each other before moving here in June, but with a small community you get close pretty quickly. These 2 spend almost all of their free time together. At the beginning I believed them when they said they were just friends. I have also become friendly with the guy. He's really sweet. I'm 100% sure they are sleeping together as of the last couple weeks. He has admitted it to me. None of my business really, but she has a boyfriend who she has visited here a couple times. I thought maybe they broke up, but he is here today. I'm bothered that she's hurting 2 people, one of which I care about. I want to anonymously message the boyfriend, but I feel like inserting myself would not feel right. Has anyone been through this? What did you do? I personally would tell her boyfriend, because if I was in his place I would really appreciate someone telling me, cheating is disgusting. And imagine if they get an STD and you could have prevented that. Personally, getting a heads up about sketchy behavior saved me from a lot of pain. I wish I was warned. Literally every one of her friends knew all sorts of stuff. Would have saved me a lot of sleepless nights. Probably won't feel great. Doing the right thing is usually hard. Would you want someone warning you about your cheating? I know I would. How you go about doing that anonymously, no idea. I personally would probably just reach out through whatever social media I can find him on, introduce myself, then ask if they're in an open relationship. If yes, all G, no one got hurt. If not, drop the bomb. You'll probably want to move rooms. Good thinking. This. If you were being cheated on, would you want to know? People did not tell me my then wife was cheating. Always out a cheater. They will never learn how to be a better person if they do not suffer consequences for their heinous actions. Even with being outed they may not learn their lesson, but they deserve to be exposed and the betrayed deserve to know what is happening to them. I am curious though how you consider this guy to be sweet and someone you care about when he is cheating with this woman. If you know she has a boyfriend, then he knows she has a boyfriend and he is still cheating with her. He is not a stand-up guy if he is willing to cheat with her. I always believe that we deserve to make informed choices about our lives. Being that the boyfriend has visited, it is pretty safe to assume that both of your roommates have that luxury. The boyfriend does not. He has a right to know that his relationship is not what he thinks it is, so he can figure out what he wants to do with it. Only tell if you are absolutely sure. Having said that, what in your mind qualifies as cheating? Not until it's physical? Emotional? Time spent? Where is the line? Are you saying that this guy she's sleeping with doesn't know she has a BF? She is hurting two people, one of which I care about. Assume you are talking about her guy on the side, even though BF has visited her at the resort. How would you get in touch with the BF anonymously? What proof would you offer? Did this person explicitly tell you they are cheating on their BF, or are you just coming to the conclusion based off other things she said? I ask cause your wording. I'd stay in my lane, not your business. Reddit is full of white knights saying say something, but it's not your job to do that. Even if she is sleeping with the guy, she could have an open relationship and all it could show is you can't be trusted. All these people defending a cheater in the comments, SMH. Yes, tell him, but tell him delicately. He deserves to know the truth and not be led on by a girlfriend that can't keep her legs closed. If I was in his shoes, I would definitely want to be informed. Best friend's wife cheated on him. I'm wanting to know if I did wrong as well. My wife and I have a couple that we have become amazing friends with. We are basically like family at this point. She was a previous friend of my wife, and I became great friends with her husband. Recently it became known that she cheated on him. At first his reaction was he was divorcing her and they were over and done. Obviously this upset my wife and I because we never expected this to happen. However, the day I found out, I was so upset about it that I messaged his wife and gave her my peace of mind. I feel like I was also friends enough with her that this was a reasonable reaction. I was very disappointed with her. I said some choice words and probably hurt her feelings. Well, the next day I was told to apologize to her from him and that they were going to work it out. Now they no longer want to be friends with us and I don't really feel like I did anything wrong. I stood up for my friend. For the last year he's been the only one working and she's been living at home, not even making dinner or doing laundry, just playing games and using the internet he provided to cheat on him. I was pissed about it and I defended him and let her know that he didn't deserve that. So basically my question/concern is, do you feel like what I did made me a good friend, or a bad friend, and is he right for not wanting to be friends anymore? If you were as good a friend with him as you say, sit down with him and talk. Clear the air. Tell him why you said what you said. I did. He actually came over the day after we found out, and we talked in person, in great detail, and he supported what I said and said he understood, that if they weren't trying to work things out he wouldn't be upset about it, but since they're working it out, he took offense to it and now has since not spoken to me, and his wife told mine that they no longer want to be friends because I disrespected her in my message. I feel like she is in his ear and doing whatever she can to make her marriage work, by manipulating him with distraction, trying to focus on other issues instead of the fact that she cheated on him. She wants to cut you and your wife out of the picture as it will be easier to gaslight and manipulate him without you in his ear, as she may still be cheating. I fear that is true as well. Basically you are not wrong and you are a good friend. What the comment said was correct. She's making him drop anyone who can make him see that she's a boss. I'm sorry if you lose your friend and I'm sorry she has such a hold on him. I pray that when he finds out she's cheating, which I guarantee she is, cause people like her, if the person they cheat on chooses to stay, then subconsciously they think, well, he won't leave, so they will keep doing it, especially if they see them cutting people out of their lives, cause more so they know they can control them and cheat. I pray he learns quickly and becomes your friend again if you wish, but till then let him figure out for himself. Good luck to you and your friend. I pray they don't have kids or don't get any, cause he will really be trapped. She wants to cut you and your wife out of the picture as it will be easier to gaslight and manipulate him without you in his ear, as she may still be cheating. I fear that is true as well. Bingo. In my book you did the right thing. I wish someone had done the same for me. and to what small extent anyone defended me in the face of outrageous, ongoing betrayal and deceit. My husband did exactly like this woman, got infuriated at anyone who dare even have an opinion, other than, oh, cool, yeah, happens all the time. This woman is avoiding reality. She's doubling down and defending herself despite indefensible behavior. And your friend is going along because it's necessary. Your relationship with them is likely over, because it's probably too much to hope that she comes out the other side of this with enough humility to apologize to you. But none of this is your fault. All I can think to suggest is that you talk with him again. And her if she'll let you. That maybe you do apologize to her, but only as sincerely as possible. Exhibit that you and her ultimately feel the same, that what she did was hurtful and wrong, right? Say you would have defended her if it had been him who treated her that way. If you talk with them in person and she flips out as you calmly explain your sane, compassionate feelings, then nail both of his enabling and her avoidance and self-pitying narcissism to ruminate on. But again, is that or anything going to fix this? Will that just, until the point that they're willing to face the music, unite them against a common enemy? Is maybe the best you can hope for that you leave them with that nugget of reality? Which is all to say I think you did the right thing, the noble thing. And I'm sorry you're getting punished for it. This is why people don't get involved in other people's lives, why they act ambivalent in the face of suffering. And I think that's no way to live, especially not if you desire a sense of companionship and community. I suspect deep down your friend appreciates that someone stood up for him. And maybe he'll come back to you someday when/if her ego calms down. Wow, that was a great read and a wonderful use of intelligent vocabulary. Thank you for your response. I think it's best that I stay out of it for now and let it run its course. I have sent him a final text message letting him know I'm here for him no matter what, and I offered one last apology to his wife in hopes that maybe it will fester in their home and maybe a discussion will come from it and they may reach out to reconcile our friendship. That's probably wishful thinking, but a tactic that isn't harmful to anyone. You got good advice here by multiple people. I would do similar things as to what you have done so far. I would also talk to your so and see her full opinion on this. If I rather speak my mind and be alone, than to be with people where I have to hide my thoughts. Not saying your so is not on your side. And I would very much question her, cheater's, friendship with everyone. She's the one who did wrong and now she has to be accountable of her decisions. I wouldn't want to be a friend of a cheater, because in the long term you're the average of your 5 friends. But this is my opinion based on some facts. She's manipulating him and the situation. Do away with the detractors. Honey, if you love me, after I got boned by another and completely disrespected you, you will get rid of those too. It sounds like this friend is so afraid of losing her, he can't stand up for his own integrity, let alone a good friend that has stood by his side. I had one friend that stood by my side and the rest cowered off in fear. He will be my friend for life and the others don't get much attention from me. I'm guessing he forgave her before he 1 knew all the facts and 2 before he could process it, classic rug sweeping. It sounds like he's coping, wrongly, the only way he knows how. If I am correct in my assessment, he's going to need a good friend when she stabs him in the back again. Thank you. You are actually spot on with your predictions. He has decided to do a rug sweep. There are no consequences for her cheating. It's best to let them go. She will cheat on him again. There's nothing you can do about it. Also, did your wife know she was cheating on her husband? She didn't know she was actually cheating. But a few months back she did mention that a certain guy online in her gaming group was being a little flirty, but she said she had shut him down and wasn't allowing it. He's a grown man. You may have been right in what you said, but ultimately, he chose to stay with her, and to take this as a personal attack against her. Next time, remember that discretion is the better part of valor. Let them come to you if they want to talk, and hear your opinion. Listen first, then tell what you think. Ultimately, he is within his rights not to be friends with either of you. Most likely because you both now know what she's done. I just hate to see him manipulated and continue down a road that will likely end in more pain and suffering. I want to be there for him to make sure his mind stays in a positive place. Even though you tried to defend your friend from the piece of shit wife, your mistake was talking to her before talking to him first. You said very rightful things, out of place and order. I agree. Like I mentioned though, he had already told me his plan was to leave her and get a divorce. So I reacted based off of the information I had. But I do agree I could have been more patient and done things in a different order. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please comment, like and subscribe. Cheers. Have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are.